Hello. Um, today, who I really had the inspiration to make a video after all because I all right. So story time. All right. I was in a call with Phineas and Coyote, who was a friend. Well, we were just talking in Chilean in general, and we were just talking about general normal things that we generally talk about. It's like nothing out of the ordinary of a conversation, but there was a problem. Uh, Coyote had put up a topic, and I had my 2 cents about the topic. However, there was something about these 2 cents that weren't quite right because I got to talk about Cognitohazards again because really there's just some information that it's better really not to know. It's better to just forget about it and don't think about it. People say, "Oh, the game, you lost the game." Oh, people say like, "Oh, automatic breathing is now disabled." Also, that cognitive hazard just by knowing it, it's it's harmless. Or fucking I don't know. Say, "Oh, your tongue fits comfortably inside of your mouth." Things like that. Um, and that was the problem because the kind of information that I had about it not only was that, but it was also a very touchy subject for me when it came to well talking about it because it's a long story. It's a very important thing that happened, and I would like to talk about it on here, but I would be doing a disservice to basically anyone who just happened to stumble upon this. Uh, I don't know, maybe in 10 years when the YouTube algorithm recommends this. I don't know. I don't want to do that to nobody. But going back to what I was saying. So basically, I said half of what I wanted. Maybe not even half. I think like less than a quarter, less than a fifth of what I really wanted to say and what I needed to say. And I basically didn't say anything. It was just a little bit of a waste of time in my part. Just I did not accomplish anything at all when I say that. But even though I didn't say anything, and well, it was better for me not to say anything and well spare people from getting the worm inside of their heads. There was still a sense of dang it. There was still a sense of god damn it. I need to talk about this, and the feeling of incompleteness. And when I realized that, immediately, it felt like I was pushed aside to like somewhere there, there that place, that rock, outside the fucking view. Yeah, I feel like I went from here to there in a millisecond, and I basically, from that point on, it basically became torture of how much I was getting tortured about it. The information inside, and plus the the dread of everything. I basically on that call, I'm very much of like a person most of the time. I feel like I feel like that's more of my style to say anything about me. But that moment, I shut up immediately. I basically spent like what 3 hours after that, completely silent, completely silent. Not completely silent, but like a word here and there. But for my standards, it was complete silence, dead quiet. And while I was basically all I was having is being tortured by myself because of the information and everything. It's a lot to unpack, and I don't know, it's been a while, and I don't remember anything. I mean, not a while, it's not been that much time, but there was too much at too little time. And all the combination of the feelings and everything, and plus everything that I wanted to say, and the feelings, and I basically was being really tortured by myself. You know waterboarding? You know the thing that where they get a rag, soak it in water, and put over your mouth and torture you with that? Yeah, it felt like that. But you soak the the rag in caustic soda and salty water, and you hook up a car battery to your ribs and then get waterboarded. Yeah, it felt like that. Here's a very quick and summarization of how that felt for some time. And so with that, I'm Cognitohazards are a fucking pain. Are a fucking once you know some of them, it does change your outlook on the world. It basically gives you new eyes to see the world and to act upon it and to live. But you get sent there. That's not what I want to be. What the fuck is it worth knowing so many things and see so many things in other ways? If it's not worth anything, if I'm just gonna stay there. That frustrates me to a level that I cannot explain with words. And more so than the information, because I was not only not being able to convey the information, but I was limited. I was emotionally hit by it, and more than that, I was having trouble with just speaking English in general because I don't know. Sometimes my brain just says, "All right, we'll be thinking in English now," and sometimes it says, "All right, we'll be thinking in Portuguese now," and sometimes even says, "All right, we'll be thinking in a fucking random language, or a random mixture of language." It feels like it just thinks of in the structure that it feels like sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't even think with languages and words at all. It's something different, something else. But I'll let that for another video. And so it was way too much, and basically I just could not handle it. I just could not handle it, and that's been a very new feeling for me. I'll tell you what, it's been a long time since the last time I was actually down to like growling and whimpering of not necessarily agony, but a mixture of various feelings. It's like a cocktail of it. And all of that because what? Because of information that I could not convey. So what do I get with it? I literally get nothing. I get poisoned by it. I cannot sell into to other people, so I get poisoned. So it's literally it's bad. It should not be existed because if I know it, it will destroy me. If I tell people, it will help destroy them. But what if? What if it was not a cognitohazard at all? What if it would not destroy them at all? What if would, well, help them out in a way? I could think about that. But it is a very dangerous territory to tread on because I'm basically treading on, well, just what I feel like, and it's not based on something that I know that's gonna happen or not. So, and I would not. People are not my guinea pigs. That's not right. I don't feel like that's right. But I do feel that if I know this, and if I was able to handle it before, and if telling became immediately what kind of turned the information that I had that gave me new eyes to the world, something poisonous, then I think other people can have it, and other people can realize it, but maybe it's just not the right time, or maybe I cannot tell it in a way now. Maybe just some people should not know it. It's so many, could be so many fucking variables for so many different people. Because, you know, once you see enough of a look in someone's faces, in not someone, in very different people's faces, you start to notice a pattern of when the thing is happening, when the things are not happening, what are you doing, if it's a mistake or not. You kind of get a feel for it. I'm not gonna say that my feeling for it is infallible. I'd say it's far away from it. Long away from it. Let's say maybe it gets right like 50% of the time. Being generous, it's like 50% of the time it gets right 50% of the time, something like that. But then again, like, what am I doing here? Because I'm talking, Cognitohazards, I know so much and all those things. And what I am doing is feeding my ego. I'm saying, I know all of that, of course, because I am the all-knowing one. And everything I know, and come on, that's stupid. That's definitely not the right path to take. But again, there's some things that I know that people do not know. So where's the point where I draw the line and say, where I recognize enough of my qualities and not put myself on a pedestal? I don't know where the point is. Everything in the world, I mean, it's horrible because everything in the world around me points that I should put in the place that I'm putting. But when I try to put it in the place that I'm putting, I'm saying, that's not right. There's something wrong in here. I should not be doing this. And so, like, these two conflicting different informations that words give me makes it hard. I do not know a way to proceed with this. And I should not keep it like this. I don't think there's nothing right about it. And if there's nothing right about it, I need to dig more into it and see to find out. But this is not the first time I've been digging into it and trying to find out. This has been a very annoying thorn on my side, a rock in my shoe, or it doesn't matter. It's just been an annoyance for so long because things are not so simple as that. Things are not so simple as a yes or no most of the time because no, they are. I'm contradicting myself, but they are. However, they are a collection of yes and no's that points to a final answer in the end. It's like a vote of everything, of like collecting yeses and no's and counter arguments, and it basically you being a judge to a court case of everything else that's happening around you. And that's not, and a court case is not a lawsuit. It's not something that you are done in a day. It's something that takes months, something that takes even years sometimes. I will tell you, there's some cases in Brazil that I've seen that have been taken like multiple decades. That thing happens. And so it's not something so simple. But again, how am I gonna live this way? This is actively hurting my way of living. So how am I gonna find answers if I need more? How am I gonna find more answers if I need more evidence to counteract and prove other answers? But I cannot do that because I don't have enough evidence. It's the chicken and the egg situation, and how do I get that? And it is a very annoying feeling because what effectively I am is I am lost, however I know exactly where I am. If that makes enough sense to say. I mean, I am working more with feelings right now than actual words. I switch a little bit the gears to talk about different things. And circling all back around from this tangent, alright? Let's go back a little bit. I've been just talking about my life has been so terrible and shit, and alright. It's Cognitohazards. I need to learn more about them because I feel like they are what limits me so much about so many things. But the problem is, it's a point that not limits me because it's a point that hits other people. So I don't have enough influence, enough. Well, I don't have enough really power to do anything about it. So what exactly could I do? What exactly could I do and act upon about it? Well, to be honest, I mean, there's some things that I can work towards it, but they are not really effective in a way that is a surefire way. It's kind of a roll of a dice situation most of the time, because one thing that I've noticed, and it gets very clear to me every time, is that people just operate in different wavelengths. Or maybe what's three-dimensional wavelength? I do not know what it is exactly. I mean, there's amplitude. No, amplitude. The I forgot the term for like how high it is, and like I'm losing myself here, but people kind of operate in a place with their minds that kind of influences how they act upon the world and how they act upon people and how they think about stuff. And there's so much information that is very, 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 very like toxic to a person that is running on one wavelength, but completely fine for somebody who's running another one, or different things. And I do not know exactly what could be one thing and what could be another. It feels like everything that I step on is a trap. And even more when I go talk to people, I had for example, a happening that happened with my friend. My two friends, where we were in a world together, and there were some other people around, and things were happening. And that day, I said, "Alright, I am turning on the most character fucking exaggeration caricature of Spobe that I can be effectively." I said that. I said, "Alright, I'm gonna just go all out and just exaggerate all of my features." And then I said, and then, yeah, I said that, and things happened. Normal hangout session that somebody has on resumes. Then it came to a point where these two friends, they went to a separate part of the world, but I didn't know about that, and like I was talking to somebody else, and I said, "Oh fuck, I need permissions to do something," but I was planning to do something silly. So I went back and said, I demand, Mister, I demand permissions of builder permissions. We need to act upon the and like they were a bit annoyed by it, but they still. And they did it like a bit to me where they changed all my permissions to spectator. Said, here's the permissions, and then I said, "Alright, it's on. I mean, I kind of realized at the moment that they were in a kind of private conversation and shit. But I said, I'm going in the annoying mode for the sake of being annoying mode. And then what I went is I went to another guy who had permissions. Said, "Oh, can I get permissions, please, please?" And then I got it, and then I said, I get the permissions, and I turned down permissions to spectator. And then people started to realize that they were in a separate part of the world, and people kind of one by one went to see what they were doing. So, and they were, I mean, annoyed, but not angry about anyone in particular. And while all was that going on, I had that bit had ended. I was with another friend just going all around the map, just doing silly shit. And the other friend who hadn't met them came back and saw them doing things. And then he went there. We talked about a little bit. Said, "Oh, I was doing something." I was like, "All right." But then I said, "All right, I'm gonna be annoying because I said, why am I gonna be annoying? There's no point to it. That's a bad idea. I'm just But I felt like I said, all right, you know what? We're gonna do this for the sake of doing this. And I just started to annoy the hell out of them, the most subtle and creative ways possible that I could. I got kicked and I went to bed again. I was really annoying them for just the sake of annoying them. And then I said, after all that was said and done, I said, why the fuck did I do that? Why the fuck? I was conscious all the time of everything that I was doing. Why the fuck did I do that? I was playing a character and I was basically doing flaws on purpose. And then it kind of hit me that most of the time people, not me, people just play a character in a way that to other people to, well, convey the best emotions or convey the best feelings or the best to just to have the best interaction they can with that person using that character. Everybody like jokes around that, like the meme of me switching my personalities whenever I change group of friends, and it's like probably like the a video of Iron Man changing suits or something like that. And what I did was something that I never did before. That there is like to really become another person for the sake of becoming another person. That wasn't really Spobe who was there. That was something different, something weird. It was just not Spobe. But I wasn't doing it for the sake of for the sake of doing the best out of the situation. I was doing it because I don't know, chaos told me to, or some reason that I'm not gonna remember too much because it happened a few days ago. I mean, yeah, probably was chaos. To be honest, I cannot fucking remember actually why would I do just such a thing and just be a bad person for the sake of being a bad person, of being an annoying little fuck with my friends that I like, that I have to hang out with and things. I literally just stretched the rope and waited until it snapped just to see it for the fuck of it. And I never done that before. I never really did a character to exaggerate the faults, not the real things that I wanted to be around people. And thinking about it, when you do that, you're trying to protect people from exactly what you want to try to say. Like, cognitohazards, what I'll try to say. It's information that once gets it inside your head, it changes you, but it's not information about a certain thing that will ruin the person's life, but more than that, it's information that will ruin your life. And I guess that's obvious as fuck, but it's something when you unwrap, you can see in a different light, in a different way of however it is. And when you think about it, to what extent do we do that all the time? More only to protect ourselves, to protect our image of to other people, how they are. And I mean, that is valid because everyone is insane. And if you just go and be insane to other people say, you're fucking insane, get the fuck out of here. Get out the door. And you slowly just show yourself who you are and things and other things, and sometimes you don't show who you exactly are. And I wonder, more than what information you should not show. What other information that is not about you should not show? Really? That's a thought I would like to leave on. Because this has been a very hard video to unpack and a lot of things to say. Or actually, I don't think I might be leaving on this one. Because I'm not quite finished with this thing. There's something telling me that this is not quite finished. It's not a finished video. Even though it's definitely going more than the average video, but there's something not finished. There's something latent that I did not talk about yet. And I need to get into that before I end this thing, even though I really want to end. There's some things I need to do before, like after this thing. I'm pretty busy, but I need to think about it. But more than that, I feel like we need to. Well, if a person, you cannot just give to a person everything that you have at once. That just not works that way. Then we should at least not try to reveal us. Well, We know, but me, I, I could not say for everyone. But at least what I should do is, I should try to get people to not just tell them whatever information I need, but to be a very slow process on everything that I need to talk about them, and slowly turn and, well, guide them through to what I want to say in a way into the end. And wait, wait a second, this is so generic. Wait, this is so generic. This is what I was just talking about earlier. There's something wrong with that. Give me a second. Well, if we need to tell anybody anything that we want to tell about ourselves and show about ourselves, we, by all accounts, should do it in a slow way and a digestible way for the person. But more than that, I think, not we, me. This is not for. I cannot speak for anybody. But more than that, I think I should find more than what is a cognitohazard about me to a person, and try to, whoever they are, try to guide them through to get into what I want to say, into the same way as somebody would slowly show themselves who they are. And I mean, that's the problem I was trying to solve just a little bit earlier, actually. It's the other things. It's not the only things about me that I don't want to show, it's the other things. And I guess I found a solution to that. So I guess there's a solution after all, and it wasn't that hard. It took me only, almost half an hour, basically? Huh, that's fine. So, it's a good thing to remind ourselves of what other things people should know by the time they should know. And we'll see whatever else should happen. And maybe after that we can have a little bit of a world that's, a little bit more in sync and a little bit less chaotic when it comes to different people and the uncomfortability of being around other people and so many other things. I think this is a good video. I think I worked enough for this. I did a good job, and I earned whatever 0 imaginary points this channel is making, because again, I don't think this channel should be watched by anyone. This is, in the end, this is channel for me. And everything that I say here is definitely a cognitohazard that I am just putting out on the internet, in effect, in a way. Reflecting back to what I said. And I really got to be careful to everything that I say, period. Because not everything that I say is right. And I might convince that it's right, but I not might be right. So I guess that's also was something that is good to know. I don't know. I feel like it's a good video. So that was a very fast video compared to the last video. It was what, a day 2 after? I don't know. Fucking hell. But that's it. See you in the next upload, whenever that is, because I don't know if I'm gonna have like the next upload in 3 days. But anyways, bye.